back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. This morning, we start off for interesting topics and conversations by chatting with Mr. Wendell Eversley, who is online and joining us. Good morning. He is a social activist, and this morning we're talking about the appeal for Dr. Delia Gabriel. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to Tobago. Good morning to all the wonderful people of Tobago and also who joining us on this live presently. And let me say good morning to your Tobago update for having me this morning to discuss this important topic concerning Dr. Delia Gabriel.
Excellent. And why do you feel like it's so important for you to lend your voice to this conversation this morning?
One is it has been almost 5 years I am on this issue where this doctor was dismissed 4 months short of a final internship where she will receive a license as a qualified doctor in Trinidad and Tobago. And when we look at the manner how it has been done, and we see similar incidents concerning doctors in Trinidad and Tobago, I ask the question, if this is a case of victimization, if it's a case of discrimination, if it's a case of keeping back certain race in this country in moving forward when it comes to their profession. Because if you all have been following up comments and statements and editorials made by certain people in this country concerning certain professions in this country where certain race have been kept back. One is Dr. Bartholomew, the deceased now, if you all read what he said concerning Africans being the intake of Africans into UE to study medicine. If you all listen to former Prime Minister's sister, who was a head of a very important department in Port of Spain General Hospital, Dr. Patricia Allen, and former Prime Minister Patrick Manning's sister, who talked also the victimization that she saw taking place. And if you all listen to also too, where we had a lot of complaints concerning the intakes of certain race into Hugh Wooden Law School when a certain race, they will be entering to UE, doing year one, then going to Barbados to do year two, then coming back to Trinidad to finish off their final year. And then they have to write an exam to go into Hugh Wooden Law School. And you could see the victimization of being taken by the intake. And some of the people who passed the exam could not have been afford to enter Hugh Wooden. Some of them have to leave and go and do the LLB. Some of them have to go to London, then come back to Trinidad and get into a law firm and do a private practice. They have to do internship at the law firm for about 6 or 8 months and then call to the bar. Thank God for the wisdom of a former prime minister who make it sure that tertiary education be freed in this country. So where people who are being discriminated from these important institutions, and one is the Law Association, two is the medical board of Trinidad and Tobago, where we can see where people have to study medicine. The problems, and especially, I want to say especially the Africans, because the problem that they see in having to go through all these studies, and then when it's time for them to get in to do their final internship, is a lot of problems.
Right,
And
but in the situation that we're dealing with currently, as it pertains to Dr. Delia Gabriel, she would have made some racist comments during some of the last few weeks of her internship. where
Yeah.
she was interning to become a full-fledged medical doctor. And because of these comments that were recorded, she was dismissed, and since then she has not been able to complete the process of becoming a doctor. But what type of message are we sending out there when we pardon someone for making these type of comments just because, okay, this is an African person, but yet we are calling for the full brunt of the law and the full brunt of the repercussions for persons that are of other descents?
Okay. Dr. Gabriel used the word, I don't want to say it on your station, but it was a racist word. But if you want to look in the contents of the word itself and you look up to the meaning, it's someone who carry loads, right? But nevertheless, we say certain things concerning African also. Let me take, for instance, Dr. Avinash, so, who said the most racist things about Africans, even call us monkey. He even went further and said that his patients do not want no African attending to them. He went further and he said that all Africans could do is kill, steal, and rob. He even went further and said that how, right, African policemen who in the Trinidad and Tobago police force are uneducated and all they could do is carry a gun. And I protest against his statement. I wrote to the medical board. The medical board wrote back to me. I know the medical board tell me bring the evidence. When the evidence was out there, Dr. Saw was represented by an African doctor in Tobago, Martin George. I don't know if he hired Martin George to do window dressing after all what he have said was outside in the public domain. You know what the medical board did? They give him a slap on his wrist and 7-day suspension. This African doctor said the word "see," and she have been punished going on 7 years now. Where are the justice where in Trinidad and Tobago where it's concerned? We have another doctor, young as Dr. Delia Gabriel, Dr. Adele Jagannath, who was charged for drug trafficking. And the kind of drug that he was charged for, it was mushroom, ecstasy, and ketamine. You know what serious these drugs are? And he was charged by the TTPS. The court found him guilty, and they just only gave him a slap on his wrist again, and fined him $14,000. Dr. Delia Gabriel, whose family suffered, struggled to make sure that she get a proper education, give her her dream, which is to become a doctor, work very hard because they didn't come from a rich family. And this girl now selling shatine, pimento pepper, and mangoes in the Tunapuna market. I have wrote to former Prime Minister, former Health Minister, former Attorney General, former President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and also just before election again, I have wrote the former Prime Minister Stuart Young. I've wrote the former opposition leader who is the current president, who is the current Prime Minister, concerning for them to look at Dr. Delia Gabriel case. I fast and protest in front of the Minister of Health office in Park Street. Former Minister of Health Terence Dial Singh. For 7 days, he watching me every day when he walk in to go buy Manos for lunch. I never himself look to say, hey, what it is you want me to do. When he knows that he could have intervened, when he knows he also appoint people on the medical board of Trinidad and Tobago. But here we have the medical board of Trinidad and Tobago have these same two doctors intact with their license. One charged for drugs. And if they want to look at it, we don't know if that doctor has been taking drugs and attending to patients. You know what they could have done to those patients that they are attending to? Because he charged with serious drugs here, ecstasy, mushroom, ketamine. We don't know if he'll be taking this in order to function properly. Then we have this other doctor calling us all sorts of different names. And you get 1 week suspension, and this girl who all her lively, all her profession gone down the drain And for 7 years, nobody see it fit to intervene to see how we could help Dr. Delia Gabriel. This is a girl I interviewed on different television stations, begging the public to come out and assist and see how we could treat with Dr. Delia Gabriel. Cause I reach out to David Mohammed, I reach out to all those African talk show hosts and African activists. Why it is when it comes to our people, and we've seen certain things where our people are profession are being tampered with. So you trying to tell me the system can look and give this young African doctor a second chance? So this is what we are seeing today, and I thank Tobago Update for interviewing me this morning on this topic, because I am decided not to let go or not to give up on this topic. Right now, I form a group, and thank God I have about 30% in the group. We have doctors in it. We have doctors from England in it. We have people from America in it. We have people from Barbados in it, and they are responding to me, and they are trying right now where we're going to appeal again to the current Prime Minister to intervene. I'm going to send letters again to the current Attorney General and the current Minister of Health. And also, we have lawyers who now come on board, and they are looking to see how they could treat with it, but even taking this matter to the courts of Trinidad and Tobago. Because when we look at the situation presently with Dr. Delia Gabriel, we are seeing that where we see clearly injustice have been done to her.
As it pertains to having that conversation with this new administration, have you reached out to them, and what are some of the responses that you have been getting?
No, I haven't reached out to them as yet. I'm in the process of going to deliver a letter to the current Prime Minister, the CC the Attorney General, and also CC the Minister of Health. So I will be delivering that letter sometime next week.
Excellent. And what would you really like to see come out of this situation?
I would like to see come out of this situation just as how other doctors, and not only these three doctors, that other doctors make certain remarks, and there was transfer to other hospitals in Trinidad to work. I remember the doctor who talked about the incident of they're being raped in Port of Spain General Hospital, and when they're doing the investigation is a lie. And what way that doctor belongs to? And where is that doctor today? They transfer, right? But you see, in this country, I do not know if there is a blockage to keep down certain ways from moving forward. And I've seen this clearly with Dr. Gabriel. They say all sorts of things about Dr. Gabriel. They say that how she's not mentally fit to be a doctor. But how somebody who's not mentally fit to be a doctor booking PH taxi and have to pay $300 a day because she do not own the car? How somebody who mentally unfit, they're saying to be a doctor, but given CXC lessons and also SCA lessons free of charge? How somebody could be mentally fit but planting garden and going to Tunapuna market, sell shatine, sell pimento pepper, sell mangoes, interact with people? I wish, and a matter of fact, I asked Dr. Delia Gabriel if she will do an interview with you all, and she said yes, because here it is a well-educated person, somebody who wrote thesis, somebody who wrote papers, somebody who wrote a paper and it was accepted. If you all listened, it's accepted in the medical profession in England. And here it is in this country, Trinidad and Tobago, we are treating her like an outcast just because she uses certain words. So why it is you cannot bring it? We hire this girl, let her do research, let her do something, and see how we can help her. Because
Right.
this is somebody.
Even in her case, is it possible that she is able to raise funds and possibly migrate and complete her doctoral studies in other parts of the world?
I have tried all of that. That people in Trinidad here, we like to talk. And some people just talk the talk and walk the talk. But a lot of people just talk. I went to lawyers too, and I don't want to call the lawyer's name, to assist me I know the first thing they ask me, how much money I have. This is 5 years I own on this case. Up and down Trinidad and Tobago, keep protests, marches in Port of Spain, march from in the Woodford Square. The Attorney General, Faris Alwawi, deliver letter concerning Dr. Delia Gabriel, walk to the Minister of Health Office, Terence Yalsing, deliver letter to him, walk to the former President, Paula May Weeks, deliver letter to her, walk to the former Prime Minister on 2 occasions, deliver letters, and no response concerning her. The Medical Board of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, when I talk about Dr. Avner, that's when we bring the evidence, and the whole country have seen the evidence where Dr. Saw say all sorts of racist comments about African people, and this Dr. Saw get a slap on the wrist. And today, he's continuing with his license. Dr. Adel Jagannath, drug trafficking, $14,000 they fine him the court, and he have his license intact. But where is this young African girl who used the word? She never get charged. She apologized to the public of Trinidad and Tobago publicly numerous occasions for using the word. She apologized to the Minister of Health. She apologized to the Prime Minister. She apologized to the people also of Trinidad and Tobago. At my protest where all the media house was there, she apologized again to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. She even appealed to the same doctor who used the racist comment that if he could offer a job. But where are the doctors, where are the lawyers to stand up in this country with me and say, hey, and I'm speaking about the African doctors, not the African lawyers. Where are you all today to stand up with me to say, hey, we must make sure and find some sort of remedy to see how we could assist this young girl. And if you all could see this young girl working PH taxi all over the night. Over the night. Sometimes when I have to call her to come and protest with me, she said, Mr. Eversley, you know how things with me is, how hard it is, right? And I said, okay. And so now I say, how much money you pay for the day for the car and assist in it? I went all out, begging, until I finally see that I'm reaching somewhere that where people are decided to come out and help, right? Even a doctor from England told me that they are coming to Trinidad to support me in this event.
Right. And is it possible for her to complete her studies in the UK?
Well, someone who did reach out to me also to ask me to assist to see how they could get a visa for her to come to the United States of America. That process is ongoing.
Excellent. So, so there is hope as it pertains to Dr. Delia Gabriel. And if anyone wants to assist her, whether it be with assisting with the whole process of migration, whether it be migrating to the United Kingdom or to the United States, how can they get in contact with you?
A matter of fact, someone even reached out to me and said they will try to see how they could get her in Guyana to finish her internship to get her license. But this is 4 months. This was not even people right here in Trinidad. She's a Trinidadian. You think other race would have allowed this to happen to their race, especially when it comes to the field of medicine?
Understood. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. See you soon.
Nobody's coming to save you, big dog. You still don't get that? Your whole life, everything that's happened, it's all on you. Every decision, every messed up habit, every poor choice, it's all led you here. You're standing in the mess you created. The only person who's gonna pull you out of this spot is you. No more excuses, no more pointing fingers, no more blaming the world for where you're at. You want change, you wanna level up. Then it's time to get real with yourself. Get focused, get ferocious. You gotta dig deep and find that fire inside you, the one that doesn't take no for an answer. It's not about what you could have done or what should have happened. It's about what you're gonna do right now. No one's handing you a lifeline. No one's coming to bail you out. It's all on you. This is where you decide what kind of person you really are. Are you gonna stay stuck, making the same weak-ass choices, or are you gonna rise up and take control of your life? It's time to stop playing small. Time to stop letting fear and doubt run the show. You got the power. You got the strength and you got the vision. Now it's time to act like it. No more waiting, no more hoping. You're the one who has to make it happen. So get your mind right, get your hustle tight, and start moving like you got something to prove, because you do. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to everyone who ever doubted you. This is your moment.
There are many that want to see you fail. What I am saying today is prove them wrong. Prove them wrong.